The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
I'm Robin Bird. I'm an ex-Navy deep-sea diver and a marine naturalist. I've spent years filming and observing sharks in the wild.
And I'm Eli Martinez. I'm an expert on shark behavior. I'm on a mission to unravel the secret world of sharks and share what I've learned with you.
We're going to challenge everything you think you know about sharks.
Well, it's a hot day down here in southern Florida, and you can tell because I'm sweating like Fat Elvis. We're heading 6 miles offshore with Captain Randy Jordan of the Emerald and his crew in search of one of the most formidable pelagic sharks, the Dusky. Now, local divers have been reporting a number of Dusky sharks offshore, including a huge Dusky shark, possibly 14 feet long. Now, that Dusky shark is hanging off on the deep water ledge that's also home to a large number of aggressive bull sharks.
This makes interacting with Dusky sharks a lot more intense. Both bulls and Duskies tend to hunt in packs, which makes them more bold and more prone to approach divers, especially spearfishers who might have a fish they're trying to boat.
First, we need to locate that group of Duskies. We have a good idea of where they might be, but these are sharks. They're elusive, and they're also difficult to approach without food. Our first goal is to show you how they react to chum in the water, how that gets them going. And then we're gonna spear a fish right in their midst, and that's when it's gonna get crazy.
But Robin, our main goal is to try to find that monster Dusky shark. I've never seen a Dusky that big, and I really hope we get to see that animal. Dusky sharks are impressive. They average 8 feet in length, but can reach lengths of up to 14 feet and weigh over 700 pounds. This is a slender shark, and young Duskies are often confused with silky sharks because they're often seen together.
Duskies are long-lived sharks. They can live up to 50 years, and they don't reach sexual maturity till about 20 years of age. That's a big problem for this shark. They estimate that in the Gulf of Mexico and on the coast of Florida, Dusky populations are down about 15 to 20% of what they were in the 1970s, and this is due strictly to commercial overfishing. So what does a big bad shark like a Dusky eat? Well, they eat a variety of fish. They eat a lot of sharks. They also eat stingrays. They eat sea turtles, octopus, and you can also find them occasionally feeding on whale carcasses.
The Dusky shark is not known to be aggressive towards divers. However, this is the only shark that has ever chased me out of the water. So jumping in today, I definitely respect this shark, and I'm gonna be watching not only myself, but everybody else in the water with me. It's a beautiful shark, but I don't trust it.
So Randy, there's a lot of controversy about people misidentifying Duskies with silky sharks, especially when they're 5, 6 feet long. Some people are pretty good at it. I've heard some biologists have a rough time with it. So how do you differentiate a Dusky? How do you know that's a Dusky shark when you come up on it?
Oh, it's easy, man. Attitude. You come up on a silky, they're sweet. They come around, you can pass them a little piece of bait at a time, a little piece of chum, they're real happy. They get in a line, they're really polite. Dusky just comes right up, trashes everything, takes what it wants, leaves you, and says, hey, I'm a Dusky. That's what we do, you know? So you can tell pretty quick by their attitude.
So it's all about attitude with the Dusky shark.
But you'll see attitude for sure.
So we're about 3 miles from the first drop where we think the Dusky sharks are gonna be found. And Eli, our first goal really is just to find Dusky sharks. They're not that common. How are we gonna do that?
Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use fish and chum to attract the sharks. Duskies by nature are really shy, so unless we have something to entice them, they're not gonna wanna come in. And we're going to an area where spear fishermen see them all the time. So that's the first place we're gonna go look, and we'll see how it goes.
Great, well, our next goal after that is to see how they react to that chum that's in the water. And as we see how worked up they're getting with that chum, we're gonna let either Randy or John Dickinson shoot a fish right in the middle of that pack. And how out of hand do you think that can get?
it can get pretty out of hand. I mean, these sharks are very confident, they're very bold, and if we spear a fish, they're gonna wanna try to grab that fish, and it gets extremely competitive. They're probably not gonna be alone. There might be some bull sharks in the mix, there might be some silkies, so it can be very competitive, and it can get really out of hand really fast.
We're 7 miles offshore from Juno Beach, Florida. We're on the hunt for dusky sharks. Our team is gearing up for our first dive.
Everybody in your gear.
Here, it's over 150 feet deep. And this is where you begin to find dusky sharks. A large, very bold predator of open water. Our first challenge is to find the pack of duskies recently reported by spearfishers, to see how they react to chum and us.
So I want to show you a little addition I made on my camera. The most dangerous shark is the one that's behind you. The one in front of you, you can deal with, but the one you can't see behind you, that's a dangerous shark. I actually put a rear view mirror on my underwater camera system. So hopefully, I'll see the sneaky one coming up behind me.
Yeah, he put a rear view mirror on his camera so he can see where he's going when he's backing up, getting away from him.
So I can see the look on my own face.
We take our time gearing up for the first dive, double-checking our equipment. Randy Jordan is putting us right on the spot where packs of big dusky sharks have been harassing spearfishers. But will they show up today? Our driver Colin sets us up.
The current's pushing these, right?
And we enter the warm, clear water. We're alone at first, but soon, Eli spots a big dusky shark racing up to greet us. A female over 7 feet long. She's a beautiful shark, and she's tracking the scent from the chum box. We're joined by a second dusky, another female, gliding around us completely unafraid, almost unimpressed with us. She's seen humans before. She looks each of us over as we give her space. We haven't really begun to chum yet, but the chum box is already spreading an invisible scent trail for hundreds of yards, attracting even more duskies. And these big sharks mean business. They sense something is up, and they're waiting for an opportunity. Eli and I watch carefully as Randy begins to grind up chunks of fish on the chum box. And we can see the dusky sharks react. And a huge 9-foot female cautiously noses the chum box before gliding away in frustration. While Eli tosses half a fish to a 7-foot dusky. These sharks are eerily unafraid of us, but that's exactly what duskies are all about. They are bold, confident, and not easily chased off when they decide they want what you have. But even with chum in the water, these sharks are still pretty well behaved. We notice most of the duskies have hooks embedded in their mouths or gills, and we attempt to remove them by twisting the shark's tail to momentarily put the shark in a state of tonic immobility. Tonic immobility is a temporary state of paralysis. Breathing and muscle contractions become relaxed, and the shark just sort of checks out, while the grip on the tail is maintained. Randy Jordan uses special pliers to grab and remove the hooks.
We're out here looking for dusky sharks in an ocean where there are no fences. There's no fences. There's nothing that's gonna keep any shark in or out. And then as we get up into mid-water, the first big dusky comes in. Then another big dusky comes in, and then a medium size, and another medium size. Pretty soon they're just swirling around us, and we're in this ballet with dusky sharks. Everybody kept a cool head, and more than once we put the dusky sharks into a state of tonic immobility by grabbing the tail and twisting the tail, because a couple of them had big hooks in the jaw, and we were trying to get those hooks out for them. We did our good deed for the day, but we have 2 more dives left, and we still have a big goal, and that's finding that monster dusky. Oh, here you go.
There you go.
So this is straight from the dusky's mouth. This was just taken from a free-swimming dusky.
"7 miles off the southeast Florida coast, our crew and dive team have located a pack of large dusky sharks and gauged their reaction to chum. The sharks were bold and so far well behaved. Now we're going to crank it up to 11. John Dickinson and Randy Jordan will each try and spear a fish in the middle of the pack of duskies. The sharks are only interested in the fish, but this is still very dangerous. Duskies are big and fast, and they can easily make a mistake. And still out there, a gigantic dusky shark named Shaka, so large that it's been mistaken for a great white. Can we locate that shark and bring it in close?
You know, like most people, the first time I saw a dusky, I didn't know what I was getting into, so I was naturally afraid. People are afraid of what they don't know. And I had heard so many stories about how aggressive they can be, and sure enough, man, I shot a fish, and a dusky came over and just slammed it, ate the fish, tore up my spear gun, and just left me just in a state of awe. Since then, after seeing them so much and seeing their behavior and realizing that they're just after the fish, if you don't have fish, it's not like they're gonna come over there and attack you.
As we approach the GPS location of our next dive spot, we begin gearing up, but no one is talking. We all know when a fish is speared in this pack of sharks, it will probably get crazy and dangerous.
I'm good to go, guys.
All right, set them up.
Let's do it.
Although the visibility at the surface is good, as we descend, it becomes murky and green. Randy wastes no time spreading out a trail of chum, while Eli and I watch and wait for the first shark to show up. Eli seems confident that we're about to have visitors. As if on cue, the pack of dusky sharks return, as bold as ever and ready for action. Randy Jordan greets a big female dusky with a nose rub. And then the first fish is speared. A little tunny, very similar to a bonito. It weaves its way around the divers. And, as if someone flipped a switch, the dusky sharks come alive. The first attempt is a miss, but the dusky whirls around for another try as the fish dives deep. Randy grabs the shaft, trying to control the fish, as a big female dusky charges in to claim the prize. Another dusky roars into the scene to claim any remaining chunks. And just as suddenly as it began, it's now over. And the sharks return to patrolling the area.
That's the difference between chumming and live shark. Hey, grab that gun, will you? I was waiting for you to shoot a bonito.
Well, we just witnessed a dusky feeding frenzy. Oh. John Dickinson actually speared a little tunny, which is kind of like a bonita. And right in front of my camera, you got to see exactly what a dusky shark's personality is like when they want your fish.
That was awesome. Oh, man.
Hey, you know what? You can never get bored down there. All we gotta do is shoot a fish. Oh, hell breaks loose.
They get excited, man.
Yeah, they do.
We have seen some big, huge dusky sharks, and even though they've been well behaved, that last dive, we got them worked up. So now you've seen what they behave like around chum, what they behave like around divers when everything's calm, and when you spear a fish and there's a dusky around and he wants your fish, give it to him.
Seven miles offshore from Juno Beach, Florida, we're on the hunt for dusky sharks, a big predator that prowls outer coastal waters in the open sea. We've observed their behavior when chum is in the water, and we almost induced a full-blown feeding frenzy by spearing a fish while surrounded by a pack of dusky sharks. We have only one goal remaining, an encounter with Shaka, a monster 14-foot dusky shark recently seen in these waters.
I've personally seen that 14-foot dusky right here at this location. That is one impressive shark. In fact, the first time I saw it, I thought it was a great white. It took a double take to realize it was the biggest dusky I've ever seen.
Randy Jordan prepares a special box of chum. We have one more dive to find the monster dusky shark, so quality matters. We're all fantasizing an encounter with this huge shark. It would be burned into our minds forever.
A 12-foot dusky is a massive, massive shark. A 14-foot dusky has got to be ridiculous.
I would imagine that that shark is probably around the 12-foot range. If it's a 14-foot, this is a monster. And if they're mistaking this shark for a great white, we're talking about a very, very big shark. Either way, whatever side, 12-foot, 14-foot, I can't wait to see it.
Randy wastes no time in creating a thick rain of chum, and dusky sharks begin showing up. These sharks are all 7 to 9 feet, and some of them must weigh over 300 pounds. But we're looking for a shark that's 12 to 14 feet and in the 700-pound class. Duskies are mysterious to most divers and fishermen. They're rarely seen and identified, which seems odd for such a large and noble predator of the open ocean. They are powerful, cautious, intelligent sharks, and we're all thrilled to have encountered so many large duskies. Yet we're also running out of time to find the monster dusky. The thought of encountering this huge shark has totally consumed us, but hope is quickly fading. Randy Jordan begins tapping his knife on his spear shaft in a last-ditch effort to attract the monster dusky within camera range. But we're running out of air. Our time is up, and we head for the surface. I say goodbye to the dusky that's been keeping me company. Eli says it all with a shrug. Even though we've had an extraordinary day diving with dusky sharks, not finding that monster dusky is a big letdown for each of us.
Thank you, buddy. Eli, it's been an incredible day. To see this many duskies, to see this many big duskies is extremely rare. And to see so many sides of their personality and to see so many different behaviors is extremely rare. But that's what this show is about, is shark behavior and how human behavior affects shark behavior. But Eli, we didn't pay off the 14-footer.
No, we didn't. That shark is still a myth to me. Until I see that shark, it's just, it's just a big fisherman's tale. However, it's really exciting to see all these other duskies out here because there's a lot of big sharks. And if you've got these big sharks here, chances of a 14-foot shark living in this area or migrating through the area is
Goes up.
possible.
Even though we didn't encounter it today, John Dickinson, one of our crew members, has seen it twice and has got great video of it. So we're gonna show you what a 14-foot dusky shark actually looks like, and you can draw your own conclusions.
A few things are clear in this video. This is a huge shark, over 12 feet long. It's probably a dusky. And it appears to be a female, which makes sense because female duskies grow much larger than males. And like most big sharks, she's very shy.
This is a big ocean, and monster sharks do exist, but they're seldom seen. The reason they survive long enough to reach such a massive size is because they are extremely wary individuals. Our group may have just been too much for the monster dusky, but she's still out here, and we'll be back. And we'll see you next week on Blue Water Savages.
This is one of the most dangerous sharks in the world. Yet few humans will ever encounter this super predator in the wild. Because the oceanic white-tip shark is a creature of the open ocean.
Behind me is Cat Island in the Bahamas. It's way out here in the Atlantic Ocean. Just a few miles offshore, it drops down thousands of feet deep, and that is the perfect place to find the oceanic white-tip shark, one of the most dangerous predators of the open sea.
This is a rare opportunity to observe the behavior of the oceanic white-tip shark. They spend their entire lives on the open sea, so not much is known about them. But they have a gruesome reputation. They're probably responsible for countless deaths of shipwreck survivors during the First and Second World Wars. But you can't blame a shark for being a shark. Eli and I want to understand more about this supreme predator of blue water. It's early morning, and we're heading a few miles offshore from Cat Island, where the oceanic white-tip sharks have recently been spotted.
So Eli, let's talk about how these oceanic white-tip sharks were first discovered here off Cat Island in the Bahamas. And it's only been a few years since they were discovered, and it was by the big game fishermen, is that correct?
Yeah, the fishermen were coming out here, they'd hook up on a marlin, they'd be pulling it in, they'd start backing down their motors, and then boom, 3 oceanics would show up. And they've been complaining about this for years, about these sharks coming in and stealing their catches. And that's how we found out about it, because fishermen love to tell stories.
Somebody's got a marlin on, and to help that guy out, they start backing the boat down, take a little bit of the pressure off the guy that's got the marlin hooked up, and after a while, the oceanic white-tip sharks, that was a dinner bell to them. So as soon as they hear that boat backing down, backing down, backing down, they know they've got something on and they come.
Yeah, I mean, they're really smart animals, and they picked up on those cues, and exactly, it was a dinner bell for them. They just show up when they hear those sounds.
Yeah, well, good thing for us, because we're going to hopefully find them just that same way. We're going to actually use the boat like a dinner bell. We're going to back the boat down a few times to see if the oceanic white-tips show up.
The oceanic white-tip is a stocky, powerful shark. They can reach lengths of 13 feet and weigh up to 370 pounds. They are big sharks, and they command your respect.
The oceanic white-tip shark is the 4th most dangerous shark to humans, behind the great white, the tiger shark, and the bull shark. But keep in mind, those numbers are based on known fatalities, documented cases. There are countless undocumented fatalities by oceanic white-tip sharks during the First and Second World War. If you are a sailor, a Marine, or an airman, and you were unlucky enough to have your ship sunk out from underneath you or your plane shot down, and you found yourself treading water in tropical or subtropical waters, and one of these guys showed up, or even worse, a number of them showed up, that would be your worst nightmare.
What fascinates me about the oceanic white-tip is, yes, they are stunningly beautiful animals, but they are also fearless predators. They're not shy, they'll come right up to divers and they want to bump you. But you can't let them bump you because that's part of their way of testing you, and you need to let them know that you're a formidable predator as well.
One of the most vivid memories I have about the oceanic white-tip shark was reading a story by Jacques Cousteau when I was 9 or 10 years old. They were way offshore, and an oceanic whitetip showed up. They got in the water and were filming it. The shark seemed completely relaxed. It had no aggression whatsoever. So they kept following it, and pretty soon they realized the shark had led them way away from their boat. The boat couldn't even see them to pick them up again. The next thing they knew, the atmosphere changed entirely, and that shark became very aggressive.
Our first challenge is finding the pack of oceanic white-tip sharks. They're migratory, and Cat Island is only one stop on their route. Can we locate the pack and get close enough to observe their behavior?
So behind me is Cat Island, Bahamas. We're here searching for the oceanic whitetip. It's one of the most dangerous of the open ocean sharks, and we're hoping to find one. We haven't had any luck yet, but we got a really good captain. He knows where to go, and we're gonna go and see if we can find these sharks. You notice how we're backing the boat up? This is part of how we're attracting the oceanics to the boat. What we're doing is we're replicating the sounds that the fishermen do whenever they got a fish on the line. And the oceanics have learned, they've been conditioned to hear that sound and come running to the boat to try to see if there's anything that they can steal off the fishermen's lines. We're also using chum and fish oil to attract the sharks to the area. So far, we haven't seen any sharks, but this is a process. It takes time. I mean, these are pelagic sharks. They're world travelers. They don't just hang around a certain area. You know, and the reason they come here is they migrate through the area, you know, because this is part of a path where they come in to find prey, to find game. And so now it's just waiting and waiting and waiting and watching water and waiting for the sharks to show up. But that's what you do when you come out here.
So with the hope of seeing our first shark, we keep the chum slick going. And finally, the first oceanic white-tip shark shows up, followed immediately by another.
So right now we have two oceanic whitetips right now hanging out by the boat. This is an extremely rare shark right here. And Cat Island is one of the few places in the world where you can find these sharks reliably, right? Because they've been overfished so bad that, you know, you can only find them in small areas. So Hawaii is one spot, the Red Sea is another, and Cat Island, Bahamas is pretty much right now the only place where you can reliably find them. With the oceanic whitetips, I mean, you have to be really careful with these animals. I mean, they deserve a lot of respect because they are predators. They're really big sharks, and they definitely demand your respect. What I like to do when we're in the water is, you know, you got to keep an eye on them. And rule number one, whenever you're diving with a dangerous shark like an oceanic, is never allow them to touch your body. And because these sharks are really curious, they don't run into things very often because they are pelagic sharks. I want to keep an eye on them all the time, and I don't let them near my body. And because if they bump, a bump can easily turn to bite, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because if an oceanic bites you, I mean, it's game over because they do turn it on. They will turn on really fast.
I'm not sure about Eli, but I've got this strange feeling, like we're about to parachute into a forest full of wild tigers. This shark in particular is known for being fearless and aggressive. Chances are we'll be dealing with a number of them, but this is the reason we came to this remote island.
All right, brother, you ready, man? Yeah. Here we go.
We're greeted immediately by the biggest shark, a 10-footer that calmly looks us over. Multiple sharks appear. I have to keep shooting, but I also have to be aware of what's going on around me, especially behind me. Eli remains perfectly calm and never sees the whitetip sneaking up behind him. The most dangerous shark is the one you don't see coming. Luckily, this one veers off, but these are the risks you take diving with sharks. Understand that what you're seeing here is now becoming very rare. A wild pack of oceanic white-tip sharks completely surrounds us, and we could not be more thrilled. More oceanic whitetips are showing up. Eli signals. He now counts a total of 6 sharks. Many of the whitetips have escorts, like this rainbow runner that knows exactly where to stay to avoid being eaten, and to take advantage of any scraps when the shark feeds. Eli decides to shake things up a bit and rattles the box of fish chunks. The reaction is immediate. 2 sharks become agitated. Yet they still seem more curious than aggressive. Our first dive has gone well. We have found the pack of oceanic whitetips. Next, we're going to attempt something unusual. Will this shark, that lives only in the deep ocean, drift over the reef with us into shallow water? We're just a few miles offshore from Cat Island in the Bahamas. We've come to this remote location to find one of the rarest and most dangerous predators of the open sea, the oceanic white-tip shark. So far, they've proved more curious than menacing, but we're fully aware of how quickly that can change. We're getting ready to try our first experiment. Will this pelagic shark that lives miles at sea drift with us into shallow water and possibly even feed? This would be very unusual behavior.
First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get in the water, we're gonna get them used to us being around, and hopefully we're gonna be able to do something different with them, which is actually bring them down to the sand and try feed off of the sand. And since these are open ocean pelagic sharks, we're not really sure how they're gonna like it or even if they're gonna like it at all. Normally, once we get close to the shallow water, oceanics tend to take off. They prefer the open ocean. They're not really comfortable around the reef and the sand, but we're gonna see if we can try to get one down.
These sharks are as curious about us as we are of them, and we must appear quite odd. Keep in mind, sharks aren't looking for trouble. They're looking for a meal, and we're big and possibly dangerous. These sharks are constantly assessing anything they encounter for both weakness or risk. We now have 7 oceanic whitetips surrounding us. As we begin to drift closer to shallow water, will they become claustrophobic as we cross over the reef? Will they all head for the safety of open water? Or will some of them follow us into the shallows? We're now in 50 feet of water, and only 2 curious sharks have decided to follow us past the reef into the shallow water. The other 5 have disappeared. Eli investigates a stingray on the sandy bottom. Most sharks would see this ray as food, but oceanic whitetips are alien to the shallows, and the ray glides off unmolested. One of the sharks begins to feed. We are witnessing very unusual behavior. These sharks are open water nomads. Eli and I are fascinated to see them acting so relaxed and natural in shallow water.
Very well behaved.
That was awesome, man. Woo.
So Eli, we actually pulled it off. We got a couple of oceanic whitetip sharks to follow us in and drift right over the sand into 25 feet of water. This is an animal that lives miles at sea in thousands of feet of water. And we got a couple of them to follow us in and feel comfortable enough to feed in shallow water. That's really unusual behavior.
It is, because again, these are pelagic sharks. You know, they spend all their time in the open ocean. So for them to come into the shallows is extremely rare. And it really shows the different individuals, because when we started out, we had a bunch of sharks around us, and by the end, we only had 2. That just truly shows the different personalities of these sharks.
So it is, in your opinion, it really is a personality thing. Some of them are curious, some of them are bold, some of them are more timid, and some of them are just willing to just drift with these crazy people into the shallows and feel comfortable about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really feel like, you know, by doing this, we're able to document more of these animals and understand them a little bit better, so we can get a really complete picture of these sharks.
Our first experiment with the oceanic whitetip produced startling results, reminding us that our preconceived notions on shark behavior can often be wrong. Sharks are unpredictable. They are complex thinking animals, constantly assessing every situation. Our next experiment will be even more challenging. Eli Martinez will attempt to place an oceanic whitetip in a state of tonic immobility.
Trying to put a shark in a state of tonic immobility is a dangerous maneuver. However, if a shark allows you to get to that point where you can put them in that state of tonic, it means that that shark and the diver have built up some kind of trust, some kind of bond, and the animal is allowing this interaction to happen, and that's the magic. That's what we're trying to accomplish here, is trying to see if we can bond with the animal, even for a moment.
So throughout the show, you've heard us mention the terms tonic and tonic immobility. Eli, what is tonic immobility and what purpose could it possibly serve in a shark's world?
Well, tonic immobility is a relaxed state that sharks go into. They're extremely sensitive around the nose and their fins. In some species, if you twist a shark's tail fin, they'll go completely to sleep. Other sharks, you rub their nose, they'll get loopy, they'll get dizzy, kind of relaxes them. Science is really not sure why it happens, but I believe personally it has to do with mating, with courtship.
Interesting.
You know, shark sex is really violent. The males will have to grab onto the female to hold them so that they can mate. I think that the reason tonic immobility happens is so that when they are in courtship, they can grab a fin, twist it, relax the female. It'll help hold them in place, and it minimizes the damage to the shark.
Captain Reynold Butler sets us up once again. More chum is added to the mix, and Eli and I gear up for our last dive with the oceanic whitetip sharks. We're greeted at the surface by a pack of oceanic whitetips, and at first they seem even more bold than the last dive. But as Eli begins to reach out to them, they shy away. To place one of these sharks in tonic immobility, Eli will have to get a solid grip on the snout. But they seem to sense he is up to something and keep their distance. Eli waves his hands to attract one of the sharks within range, but it turns away as he touches the nose. Another approaches and gives Eli the same response. Given enough time, Eli would probably win the trust of these sharks to pull this off. But we are running low on air and our dive is almost over. Yet this experiment has been a success. This was still fascinating behavior. These sharks displayed caution mixed with curiosity. They are not killing machines, but top-level predators who survive by constantly weighing danger and opportunity.
Eli, what an amazing adventure. We got to swim with one of the greatest and one of the rarest open ocean predators, the Oceanic whitetip shark. And we got to observe some very unique behavior, maybe even be undocumented. But we did not succeed in putting one into tonic immobility.
Robin, it boils down to trust. These sharks don't know me very well. I haven't spent a lot of time with them, so it's really difficult to get them to come in close and want to interact. Just boils down to time in the water.
So watching Eli in action has certainly altered my view of humans who choose to interact with sharks. But I'm still a hard-boiled realist. I don't think there's anything fuzzy or soft about these animals, and they're certainly not going to let us get away with letting our guard down around them. But Eli has shown me a fascinating side of these animals that biologists will probably never see because they're looking at them differently.
Ranked second only to the great white in unprovoked fatal attacks. A massive shark, built for dismembering the toughest of prey. The tiger shark prowls the shorelines of tropical islands and beaches worldwide, putting it directly on a collision course with humans. We're going to show you another side to this shark. When encountered by divers who remain calm, tiger sharks seem curious, intelligent, and almost docile in most encounters. But this does not mean you can let your guard down. With over 1,000 tiger shark dives, Eli Martinez is a leading expert on tiger shark behavior. And today he's going to attempt a technique that he has perfected with large tigers in the Bahamas. Once he has the shark's trust, Eli will carefully roll the shark on its back and stand it straight up on its head. But can Eli accomplish this with a tiger shark he has never encountered?
We're about ready to head 5 miles off Jupiter Inlet, Florida. Today, we're on the hunt for tiger sharks.
It's rare to find tiger sharks in these waters, but our guide, Randy Jordan, knows exactly where to go.
We're going to go out and find some tiger sharks today, and this is a particularly exciting day for me because Eli has spent so much time with tiger sharks, and it would be a highlight of the show if I could get Eli to stand one of those tigers up like his signature infamy is from Tiger Beach. It'd be great. Tiger sharks, the difference is that the tiger sharks, they're a serious shark. They're slow moving, they're very polite, but when they're onto something, they just keep moving. They're like trying to stop a bulldog or a truck. It's just not going to happen. I tell people if a tiger's in a room, no matter what else is going on, keep your eye on the tiger, because they will historically look at you, be real nice, and then go around back of you to investigate. Maybe you've got a little dust cap on your tank or something that might look like food. They're just coming up to say hi, but they've got a really firm handshake.
There's only a few species of sharks that haunt the dark recesses of our minds when we visit the ocean. Sharks whose history more than live up to the reputations they've earned in popular culture. Tiger sharks inhabit that special place, and for good reason. They're only second to the great white shark in known attacks on humans. They have incredible bite strength. They're literally built for dismantling their prey. They have teeth that can saw through bone and turtle shell. They can actually bite an adult sea turtle in half.
Tiger sharks are amazing animals. They definitely have their own personalities, and once you spend a lot of time around them and learn how to behave around them, you don't feel threatened. They definitely gotten a bad rap through the years, and they don't deserve it.
Tiger sharks over 14 feet long and over 1,400 pounds are pretty rare. The Guinness Book of World Records has one listed at 18 feet long and over 3,000 pounds. The widest point of a tiger shark's body is the hinge at the jaws. That's a pretty interesting fact.
We take good divers out to see tiger sharks, And I always tell them ahead of time, there's things that you should do and things you shouldn't do. You got to treat these sharks with respect. If one gets too close to you, it's okay to touch it, but you shouldn't be an aggressive touch. That would be followed by an aggressive move, so you don't want to do that. Sharks typically eat in contrast. We don't think that they see color, but anything that's in contrast. For instance, I wear black gloves so they don't think that my hand is a chunk of food, or you wouldn't want to wear a white bonnet on your head, things like that.
As we clear the mouth of the inlet and head for open water, Eli and I only have one thing on our minds: tiger sharks. Aboard the Emerald with Randy Jordan and his crew. We're headed 4 miles offshore from Jupiter, Florida. And we're about to dive a wreck in 100 feet of water that attracts a variety of large predatory sharks, hoping to encounter a super predator that is usually considered very rare in Florida waters, the tiger shark. And with over 1,000 tiger shark dives, no one knows tigers better than Eli Martinez. Our goal today is to find the tiger sharks and then see if Eli can gain enough trust with these Florida tigers to try his signature move of rolling the tiger shark onto its back and then standing it straight up. The Emerald is making good time, and our team is already mentally preparing for the first dive.
All right, well, we're about 4 miles off Jupiter, Florida. We're about to drop in for our first tiger shark dive. Eli, do you think you're gonna run into any of those sharks from the Bahamas? Are you gonna see anybody you know here?
Oh man, I hope so. I mean, you know, it's a long ways from here, but you never know, because these sharks, they do travel.
So these sharks actually know where they're going. They're not just wandering around, right?
No, definitely not. They do know where they go, and this is all part of their DNA. It's, you know, passed down from one shark to another, and they know that the best feeding spots or the best breeding spots, and they return to those spots year after year after year. So absolutely, they know where they go.
Now, do you predominantly see female tiger sharks out here or male tiger sharks, or is it a mix?
I've done over 1,000 tiger dives, and I've never seen a male tiger shark.
Wow, 1,000 and you've never seen a male?
Never seen a male. Why that is, I don't know. Other species of sharks, I've seen male, female, great hammerheads, lemon sharks, male, female, reef sharks, but tigers, never.
We're now hovering over the wreck. It's time to suit up and get wet. Eli senses the direction of the wreck, so we follow his lead. And soon the bow looms into view. A cloud of Tom Tate grunts will escort us to the stern, where Eli and I will wait for the first tiger shark. A few minutes later, a 10-foot female tiger shark begins to investigate the commotion. We drop to the sand to get closer. She's very confident, eyeballing each of us as she slowly cruises by. This is a very powerful predator, and my senses are on full alert. But she seems mostly curious and not threatening. But we can only stay at 100 feet for a limited amount of time. So we make our way up to mid-water. Eli has a souvenir, a tooth from the tiger shark she shed while investigating the chum box. Eli suddenly sees something new at the wreck. There are now 2 tiger sharks cruising the stern. The 10-foot tiger shark greets us in mid-water as if to say, "Hey, where are you going?" The first dive has been a huge success. Eli's goal of getting this shark to roll over looks attainable. but it will take more time.
Tiger sharks have a well-established reputation for attacking humans, mostly in the shallow surf zone, and Hawaii has seen more tiger shark attacks than any other state. Randy, is there something different about divers? Because it seems like there's a low incidence of divers being attacked by tiger sharks. Is it because we're wearing a mask and there's direct eye contact, where we appear bigger with fins, or do we appear to be something completely different, maybe something that they're unused to seeing?
Well, I think tiger sharks are smart, and I think what happens is that of the attacks that happen, it's just confusion. It's usually snorkelers or people on the surface, and maybe they run into a school of bait and the tiger's after the school of bait and accidentally hits a human being. We're not on their menu.
Tiger sharks are rare in Florida waters, yet we have just encountered a magnificent 10-foot female with quite a personality, curious to the point of being nosy. And this will work in Eli's favor as he carefully gains the trust of this very bold tiger shark. 4 miles off Jupiter Inlet in southern Florida, our team is on the hunt for tiger sharks. Captain Randy Jordan of the Emerald is our guide. And on our first dive, 2 tiger sharks paid a visit. The larger shark is bold and curious. The perfect tiger for Eli to achieve a very difficult maneuver. Gently rolling the shark on its back and momentarily standing it up vertically. But what if you're out diving and happen to run into a tiger shark yourself? Don't panic. We've got some good advice for you.
If you're a diver or a free diver, we've got some tips for you that might come in handy one day if you've never been in the water with a tiger shark. We're gonna give you a few ideas of how to behave, what to do, what not to do. So Eli, I'm in the water, I'm scuba diving, I'm at 60 feet. Big tiger shark shows up and is interested in me and is circling around me. What do I do?
Well, the best thing to do is always hold your ground. You never swim away from them because they're going to chase you. It's just like a dog chasing a cat. So what you want to do is you want to stand your ground, and if the shark comes into your area, the safest place to put your hand on a shark is on the top of his head. Tigers have huge heads, and that's the safest place. It's away from the mouth. And what you want to do is you want to push your body away from it. You want to keep your hand on that shark's head, and you want to create a bubble between you and the shark. And that's the safest thing to do because the shark can only swim forward, it can't swim back, and all you're doing is creating a barrier. You don't want that shark to touch your body ever. That's rule number 1.
The other thing I noticed is that the tiger sharks seem to be almost intimidated by the lemon sharks. The lemon sharks and the tiger sharks don't seem to get along that well. And I know that they're in competition for the food, but I was really surprised to see a lemon shark come in and actually bump a tiger shark and have the tiger shark jet off into the distance.
Yeah, and then that's surprising because tiger sharks are really big and lemon sharks are a lot smaller, but lemon sharks are extremely territorial and they tend to start pushing off anything that's in there. So the way they look at it, this is their food. There's a lot of lemon sharks and they tend to just push everything out of the way.
We got the numbers.
Got the numbers, absolutely.
All right, well, we're gonna give it a shot. We're really hoping we can have Eli pull off his signature move and stand that tiger shark up on its nose. So let's get dressed, let's get rigged up, and let's jump back in the water.
The Emerald returns to position over the wreck, and our team gets ready for the next dive.
How you holding up there, guys?
Ready for a nap.
Diving 90 feet all day can take a toll on you, not to mention the danger of the bends. So we pace ourselves carefully and try to remain as relaxed as possible on every dive.
All right, here we go.
This ship was intentionally sunk to create an artificial reef. And years later, wildlife is thriving on every inch of this rusting hulk. And that's why the sharks are here. Our tiger shark is back. She seems almost glad to see us, and I'm beginning to warm up to her. But if this shark decided she wanted you, almost nothing would stop her. And yet, she's very calm, very curious, and non-threatening. Concepts that don't seem to equate with our idea of a wild tiger shark. Eli gradually begins to win the tiger shark's trust. But she already knows Randy Jordan, and Randy greets her with a playful head rub, his way of saying hello to this shark that he's encountered many times in recent months. Is this shark actually enjoying this interaction, or just the chunks of fish? It oddly seems like a mixture of both. With each encounter, Eli is gaining the trust of this tiger shark. She seems almost playful, but thinking that way can be very dangerous. This is a very powerful predator, and we treat her with respect.
We're about 4 miles off of Jupiter, Florida. We're on the hunt for tiger sharks. We've been dropping down 90 feet onto this wreck, and so far today we've had some magnificent encounters with some pretty impressive tiger sharks. But one thing that's been very elusive, we haven't been able to pull off, and we still want to give it a try, is can Eli do his signature move and stand one of these big tiger sharks straight up vertical on its nose? What are the chances we're going to do that? Because I haven't seen any of these sharks really want much to do with you in terms of interaction.
Yeah, no, they're really shy. By nature, tiger sharks are ambush predators, so they tend to stay away, and they don't like to be seen. So trying to get them in, that's why we bring in the bait so that we can lure one in. If I can get one of those sharks into my hands, I got a really good shot of doing it. Absolutely.
We shuffle off the boat into the clear blue water for our final dive of the day. Our friend the tiger shark has heard the boat pull up, and she greets us on the way down. And it makes me wonder if this tiger shark is actually looking forward to having another chum party on the sand. How much does this shark anticipate? Or is it reacting to every situation randomly? I sense there is a lot more going on in this shark's brain. She seems fascinated with us, taking the time to carefully look each of us over as we make our way down to the sand. Eli has now established a level of trust with this shark. And as she returns to him again, he is able to gently roll her on her back and stand her straight up. Eli is overjoyed. For him, winning over a tiger shark is as close to nirvana as it gets. From another angle, you can see the tiger shark temporarily go into a mild state of tonic immobility, sort of a trance, before snapping out of it and swimming off. This will be a day Eli will not soon forget.
Eli, you finally pulled it off. Amazing, amazing. We're 90 feet on the bottom. Lemon sharks everywhere, tiger sharks swirling around us. A big tiger comes in. Eli gets it to calm down, rolls it over, stands it on its head in his signature move. This is Eli's signature move, by the way. Now, why would that tiger shark allow you to actually do that to it in the first place?
Well, this is something that is really unique to tiger sharks. I haven't really seen this with any other species of shark. They like to roll, they like to go, they stand on their heads. Not really sure why, might be hunting, might be whatever it is that it is for a tiger. But what I do is when I get them in my hand, I put them in, it's semi-tonic. It's not true tonic immobility, but they get really relaxed, almost fall asleep in my hand, and then I can roll them or I can make them go vertical. Not really sure why, but I love doing it.
Well, I tell you what, it's hard to tell sometimes how long a tiger shark is, but when you roll one over and stand it up on its head and you look up and you say, wow, that's a big shark, man. That's a really cool move.
I'm really glad Robin got to meet the tiger sharks today. I know he doesn't trust them and most people think they're big and scary, but that's only one side of this shark. It's only through these type of encounters that we'll finally understand the true nature of the tiger shark.
Well, I learned a lot about tiger shark behavior today, but the idea that you can tame a tiger shark with repeated human interaction, I'm just not buying it. These are big, wild, dangerous predators. The tiger shark that you think is your friend will eat you if you make the wrong move. Having said that, if you're a diver and you're out in open water and you encounter a big tiger shark, if you keep your cool and you make all the right moves, chances are they're going to circle you a couple times and then take off. How you react will have a big effect on the outcome.
A big coastal shark, known for having a vicious temper if caught or harassed. Yet also known as one of the most docile and gentle sharks if treated with respect. The lemon shark is a very social and intelligent predator. Each spring, they congregate in the deep water off Jupiter, Florida. And this is the perfect opportunity to explore the difference in personality and temperament between male and female lemon sharks. Our biggest challenge today may just be the weather.
We're getting a late start. It's about 9:30 in the morning, but it's been pouring rain all morning. It's still, as you can see, overcast skies here, heavy overcast in Jupiter, Florida. We're heading out of Jupiter Inlet to find lemon sharks today. We have been weathered for 4 days. We have been stuck here. It's been a high pressure system offshore, was creating 6 to 8 foot, 9 foot seas out there, driving rain. So we've basically been holed up in our hotel rooms for that entire time. It's broke, the high pressure system moved onshore, and the seas are calming. It's still 3 to 5 foot out there. We're gonna be diving today 100 feet plus on nitrox to find lemon sharks. So it's game on. Let's get on the boat. So we're heading out of Florida's Jupiter Inlet on the hunt for one of the most fascinating species of sharks.
And in my opinion, one of the most intelligent, the lemon shark.
Lemon sharks are found in shallow subtropical waters. They can reach lengths of 11 feet and weigh over 400 pounds. These are highly social animals, and Jupiter, Florida has one of the largest aggregations of lemon sharks found anywhere in the world. They have a reputation among fishermen as a shark with a vicious temper.
But I'm here to show you another side of these animals. I've been working with these sharks for over 10 years, and if treated with respect, these sharks can be docile, and in fact, sometimes seeking out human interaction. What I'm going to show you today is going to blow your mind.
Today we're going to get right in the middle of a group of strictly male and then a group of strictly female lemon sharks to see the differences in their behavior.
But Robin, we're not just here to find them. How receptive will the males be to my approach? How receptive will the females be? That's what we're going to find out.
The lemon shark aggregations here in Jupiter, Florida are really impressive, but I've heard one crazy story after another about how vicious-tempered this shark can be. I've heard they'll even seek revenge. If you're messing around with a shark and you let it go, it'll either bite you or bite anybody else nearby.
Robin, these are extremely intelligent sharks, and lemon sharks do understand if you're messing with them, and if you are, watch out. But at the same time, they're also smart enough to know when you're not messing with them, and then they can be extremely docile.
Guys, we're almost to the inlet. When we get there, it's going to get really rough. So let's hang on, make sure your gear's bunged in, and get ready for the ride.
We're almost clear of the inlet. We're heading out of Jupiter, Florida in search of one of the most fascinating predatory sharks, the lemon shark. The challenge today is the weather. It's been really rough weather and rough seas for the last 4 days. So I'm a little uneasy about today, but we'll see what the conditions are like once we get out there.
It's a good thing Randy has a sense of humor, because today he'll need it. We're getting hammered with 5 to 8 foot seas. But Randy also knows exactly where to find male lemon sharks for our first goal. To see how receptive they are to interaction and physical touch. We're headed 3.5 miles off Florida's Jupiter Inlet into federal waters. Our goal is to locate separate groups of male and female lemon sharks, to see how each will respond to Eli's attempts at winning their trust. But today the ocean is angry, and rough seas are tossing our boat around as we head for the first drop. While the rest of us cling to the handrails, Captain Randy Jordan secures the gear on the stern, and we push on. Eli knows lemon sharks, and he's shared some remarkable stories and video with me. His encounters with lemons have led him to believe they're highly intelligent sharks, and even enjoy human affection.
So I know the lemon shark is capable of inflicting severe damage on someone that's dumb enough to harass one. But the idea that this shark can also be docile and actually seek out human interaction or affection is a really weird concept for me. I know Eli's the man, so I'm gonna let him show that to me, but I'll believe it when I see it.
One of the things, like I said, we don't really teach the sharks, they teach us, and one of the things they've taught me is that don't mess with them during a full moon. Oh, by the way, it's a full moon this week, so during a full moon, for some reason, they get, I'm not gonna say aggressive, but they get very quick. You don't want to be caught with food in your hand, and when they come in, it's a little frightening because they come in so fast. Normally they're so docile, they just line up, they come in at one at a time, really sweet. During a full moon, 4 or 5 of them come in at one time, and it's pretty exciting. All right, we're headed over to a little spot I call Lemon Drop. We're gonna be picking lemon sharks. This spot usually holds all males. This is one of those locations where it's a guys only kind of a thing. We're gonna drop down into about 90 feet of water. We're roughly about 3.5 nautical miles from shore out in federal waters, and we're just gonna see what's there. Looking forward to working with Eli and learning new things about our resident sharks.
Joining us as safety diver is a veteran of many shark encounters. John Dickinson will be watching our backs as we pay attention to the sharks in front of the camera. Captain Randy Jordan stuffs the chum box with fresh chunks of fish. As fascinating as we may be to them, without the chum box, the sharks would quickly lose interest in us. It's time to start gearing up for the first dive.
They were saying 3 to 5 foot seas. Easy 3 to 5 foot seas today. We're getting tossed around like crazy. This is not fun. But it beats sitting in a hotel room for 4 days.
We're almost over the first spot, where only male lemon sharks are usually found.
All right, guys, we're gonna jump in. We're gonna go down to the bottom about 90 feet. We're gonna swim north with the current. No, don't overexert. We're gonna swim north and just a little bit east till I find a nice spot where we're out of the current, out of the blowout. Then we'll set up for the sharks and see what we can find. So let's go ahead and get ready.
90 feet below us, the water is calm, and we look forward to getting off this pitching deck and joining the lemon sharks. Finally, we arrive over the spot, and our team enters the water. Eli takes a moment to enjoy the tranquility as he descends to 90 feet, where he's greeted by a Goliath grouper. And almost immediately, a female lemon shark shows up and begins patrolling the scene. Surprising because this spot is known for only male lemon sharks, which is why we're here. It's obvious the Goliath grouper is going to compete with this shark for anything we might be handing out. This party is just getting started. We are 3.5 miles offshore from Jupiter, Florida, and 90 feet deep. We're diving with lemon sharks, an intelligent shark known for having a bad temper, also known for seeming to enjoy human interaction. But will there be a difference between the male and female lemon shark's response to Eli's approach? This is what we're here to find out. Only minutes into our first dive, we're joined by a Goliath grouper, and oddly enough, a female lemon shark. This area is known mostly for males. Goliath groupers are really good at throwing their weight around. But this big female lemon shark is not going to be intimidated very easily. She seems completely relaxed around us, and Eli is able to gently hold her by the nose, his way of saying hello. This female lemon shark is very bold and almost friendly, but we need to find male lemon sharks on this dive. So we leave the bottom and begin drifting with the current in mid-water, about 50 feet below the surface. The first male lemon shark comes up to meet us, gulping a chunk of fish before darting away. The male shark seems far more wary than the female, who weaves in and out of our divers. And then, as if to prove the point, she decides to gently rub against the lens port of the camera. Eli hands the female lemon shark a fish. She gulps it down and circles back into Randy Jordan, almost nibbling the back of his head and shoulders. But this is only curiosity and not aggression. She returns to Eli, who gently holds and rubs her nose before she breaks away. The male lemon sharks have now become more relaxed, and both Eli and Randy are beginning to interact with them. Suddenly, out of the blue haze, a gorgeous young female tiger shark swings in for a visit. She's literally perfect and totally calm as she comes in for a closer look at Eli. But we're out of chum and low on gas, and it's time to end this dive.
Amazing first dive. What was that? 2 male lemon sharks, 1 female lemon shark. So the theory about them being completely separate communities didn't hold up on this dive.
No.
Also, Eli, I noticed that the males actually allowed you to interact with them quite a bit.
A little bit, yeah. They were coming in, which was really exciting for me, especially since I don't really know these sharks.
Yeah.
But, Randy's obviously, he's conditioned them quite a bit, as far as working with them a lot. So when I came in, they weren't as shy as I was thinking they were going to be, so it's pretty exciting. It was only the first dive, so I can't wait to see what the rest of the dives do.
Okay, there are a few exciting moments down there, let me tell you. I turned around just in time to see one of the lemon sharks nibble the back of your head. I mean, he was like,
He was just after the bubbles. Sometimes when you exhale, the bubbles pass back there. I think he was a little bit confused.
I think he was a little confused.
Totally confused. Yeah. Really, there was a lot of scent in the water, and I think the lemon shark was just trying to find his way. I really don't believe at all it was any kind of aggressive. I was just thinking he was a little confusing.
It wasn't like kisses. He wasn't giving you kisses on the back.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Was it a male or a female? I don't know.
So the next exciting thing that happened. We're down to about 600, 700 PSI. We're getting towards the end of the dive, probably only 10 feet from the surface. Eli looks at me and goes like that, and I was like, oh, something else is showing up. I turn around, about an 8-foot tiger shark swings in to play with us. It was amazing.
Yeah, Eli was at home. I think that one came right over from his area. He swam right up to him, so that was really cool. Yeah, they're really a lot prettier when they're smaller.
They got the stripes.
But the one thing that I was happy to see was that Goliath grouper that came up, because I know Eli loves those, and it's like a big puppy dog for him,
Yeah, so the Goliath grouper
was glad to see that.
It was an amazing.
It was like a big Saint Bernard.
It was a really great first dive. I mean, as far as we got a bunch of sharks in there. The tiger shark was a really nice surprise.
Sure.
It was kind of like just coming home, and I'm just really excited about what the rest of this adventure is.
We're 4 miles off of Jupiter, Florida, in the middle of a very rough ocean. It's 3 to 5 foot seas, occasional 7, 8 foot swells rolling through. The wind is blowing like crazy. It is no fun being on the deck of this boat. We're here to interact with lemon sharks, and we're trying to see if there's a difference in the behavior between male lemon sharks and female lemon sharks in terms of the amount of human interaction they'll tolerate. All right, Eli, we're gonna set up and do the next dive. This time we're gonna drop down on a wreck that's supposedly loaded with only female lemon sharks. So what can we expect from this dive?
Well, hopefully, if they're anything like the sharks that I've worked with, they're going to be real interested in what's going on. Obviously, we're bringing down the bait. They're going to be interested in that. But from my experience, female lemon sharks are a lot more interested in interacting with us. So I'm hoping that if they come in, they're gonna be a little playful. Maybe come in over and over again, doing the same things.
All right.
And maybe I can find an individual that's going to want to really, really get involved with what we got going on.
We gear up for the next dive. A large wreck in 90 feet of water, where groups of female lemon sharks can be found. Even in this rough ocean, the water below the surface is blue and clear. Randy Jordan decides to bring a nice big fish head to the party. The wreck looms into view. And we let the current push us along toward the stern. Randy signals for us to come down to the sand at 90 feet, where a number of female lemon sharks are beginning to congregate. Randy will always keep a wary eye on any shark that wants to get behind the divers. So he guides this lemon shark back to the front yard. These are big, beautiful lemon sharks, healthy and well-fed. A nurse shark that seems to be blind in one eye wants in on the action, but Eli gently guides her away. The cloud of small fish swirling around us are grunts. And they're so dense that sometimes you only see the lemon shark when it's in your lap. Soon, the lemon sharks are swarming our divers, and Eli is busy keeping the sharks moving. But it's already obvious Eli was correct. The female lemon sharks are by far more bold and relaxed around the divers than the male lemon sharks were, and seem to almost enjoy physical contact. This is really fascinating behavior. We can only stay at 90 feet for a limited amount of time, so we leave the bottom and head for the surface. The curious female lemon sharks follow our team to mid-water before finally becoming bored with us and disappearing back into the blue haze.
Fantastic. Eli, here's my take. The female lemon sharks are allowing more interaction because there are more of them. They are in competition with each other. And when that chum was starting to really get boiled out of that box, they were really sticking their head in there one after another. So when you're reaching up and touching the side of their head, I noticed the nictating membrane, and that's that white membrane you'll see cover the eye, which is really to protect the shark's eye. I see that happening each time you do that. I don't know if that's a sign of, wow, this feels really good, or if they're protecting themselves saying, I'll let him do this, but I'm looking for food.
Well, yeah, you could say that, but the experience I've had with the sharks here is that they do enjoy it because they keep coming back over and over again. And yeah, you could say it's about the food, but I've been in situations where I've had lemon sharks literally come up to me, stop in front of me so I can give them back scratches, and they'll just lay down and they just want me to rub their back. Has nothing to do with food, has everything to do with a shark just seeking out some kind of interaction.